All right. I'm trudging up. I guess old veterans is what I'm doing because that's where we're at in this one. ADP 146 is Hollywood Brown, Marquise Brown, Kansas City Chiefs. Now, we saw him last year come and play a couple of games and get a couple of looks. He didn't light the world on fire. He did catch 9 passes on 15 targets for 91 yards with the Chiefs in the regular season. But here's the thing about Marquise Brown, right? We know that Hollywood Brown is 1,000-yard receiver from back in the day with Baltimore. Probably one of the lone bright spots that was the passing game in the Baltimore Ravens
Yep.
world. Now, when you look at the Kansas City wide receiver core, right, you've got that young Xavier Worthy who is just basically headlining everything, right? And you got Rashee Rice, and then you've got Sky Moore, and you've got Jalen Roylers, and you've got Juju Smith-Schuster. Not a lot of those names are saying to you, and again, as you know, with Patrick Mahomes, he can make anybody relevant on the field. Travis Kelsey, say what you will about him. I'm not sure that he's the same guy anymore, I guess. I don't know. I get it, right? Everybody's like, oh, it's Travis Kelsey, and he is.
Yeah.
But Munaf, how many times did we see him or get away or Patrick Mahomes get away from Travis Kelsey toward the end of last year, right?
Yep.
So for me, I think giving Mahomes Marquise Brown and now a full season of Marquise Brown is probably going to do wonders for him. Is he going to be the 1,000-yard rusher again? Nah, not really. But Travis Kelsey, 151 targets, led the team last season, right? But how sustainable can that be? I guess it's Travis Kelsey. It'll be as sustainable as they want it to be. Xavier Worthy, 119 targets. DeAndre Hopkins with 67. Obviously, he's no longer there, so that frees up some targets there. Noah Gray, 53. It was a huge drop-off past Worthy and Kelsey, right? So I think Marquise is the kind of player that can inherit some of those other and really just give Patrick Mahomes that much more of a safety blanket because we know that he's a talented enough player to get it done. So I think Marquise Brown at 146 is kind of a steal because you know that he's in a decent situation with the Chiefs. Granted, you can say what you will about their lagging offense last year, but still it's the Kansas City Chiefs, and any player on that board has value. And Marquise Brown is a player now for a full season on that board.
Yeah, and look, you talk about Hollywood Brown his time with the Baltimore, almost said Orioles because I'm still in baseball mode, but Baltimore Ravens. It wasn't a pass first offense, right? They wanted to run the football with the respective running backs that they had. Lamar Jackson utilizing his legs, so it wasn't a huge emphasis on throwing the football. But he still had 3 seasons of seven receiving touchdowns, 8 and 6. You mentioned the 1,000-yard season he had there in 2021. I know last year he came back very late just because of the I believe it was a shoulder injury that he was dealing with. So now he has that full off season of putting the injury behind him, bringing that rapport with a guy like Patrick Mahomes. And from a pure passing perspective, going from Lamar Jackson to Patrick Mahomes, that kind of changes your psyche. Let's also not forget that Rashee Rice may serve some type of suspension for the Kansas City Chiefs. That's yet to be determined here. So I think that his ADP, after that news does come out about Rice, that's going to skyrocket. So now would be the time for you guys to, pick him up on your respective fantasy teams there. So I like it. I'm with you on Hollywood Brown here. I think that, again, we're not asking these guys in these later rounds to go out and get 1,200 yards and 10 touchdowns, but it could be the difference of them having a receiving touchdown on any given week that can propel you to getting that a win or losing that week. So, yeah, I like it here for Hollywood Brown.